Hey, good morning. I hope everyone's having a good day. Want to jump right into today's devotion. Back up here. I put a lot of work into that slide. Want to show it? Just kidding. Just stole it off the internet here. But no retreat. Awesome message by Pastor TJ on Sunday, talking about coming from Joshua and commitment. And the first point of the sermon was no retreat. And out of that, of course, he is talking about um, the children of Israel and how they had waited for 40 years to cross over the river, and they were now at Gilgal and was getting ready um, to cross. That they had to be committed. The reason that they had wandered before was due to lack of commitment. Um, but I want to share a verse of scripture here that he shared, just one verse today, Joshua 5:1, and it says, "And it came to pass, when all the kings of the Amorites, which were on the side of the Jordan westward, and all the kings of the Canaanites, which were by the sea, heard that the Lord had dried up the waters of Jordan from before the children of Israel, until they were passed over, that their heart melted, neither was their spirit in them any more, because of the children of Israel." And out of that, we was thinking of a story, a true story, not a riding a bicycle on the beach story. Um, for those of you that's heard that one before, but this is an actual story that during this time, and thinking about through the week what I was going to share with my devotion, but this happened to Logan and I on Tuesday night. Uh, some may know we have two 9-month-old lab brothers, um, Boone and Roper. And Boone and Roper are good dogs until you turn your head and then they go chasing birds and butterflies and everything else. Well, Tuesday night was up doing some work with the cows and noticed that they had taken off chasing a bird over the hill. No big deal. They'll come back. Hour later, still no dogs. Um, so then finally we find Roper and our older dog, but no Boone. And so by this point in time, it's probably 9:30 something till 10, pitch dark, um, and we've I've kind of given up in defeat. We're not going to find Boone. Hopefully, he finds his way back home. Um, Never been gone this long or this far. Usually, they're two peas in a pod, and they travel together. Um, and then, as we were getting ready to go back into the house, we heard a yelp of distress, kinda. Sounded like a dog that was far, far away, and we couldn't find. And so I thought maybe it was down by the barn. So here goes Logan running down that way with nothing but his cell phone and the flashlight off of it. I grab a bigger light that we have. At this point in time, he shot down over the hill in terrain that I'm not wanting to go through. So I throw him the good light so that he can at least see where he is going. And by that point in time, I jump on the side by side and head down to the road where I think he'll come out at. By the time I get there, Logan's crossed the road, long story short, and is now proceeded to climb up a ridge that is about straight up and down because he hears what we believe to be our dog at the top and is in trouble. So, long story short, after some persistence from my wife and the fact that we have now lost all communication with Logan, um, I proceed to climb the mountain as well. And so we climbed the first part of it, which is, I don't know, it felt to me like it was Mount Everest. I was out of breath, fell 3 or 4 times to the bottom, was having to use trees to try to pull myself up. Get to the first little landing. By this point in time, I see a glimmer of light way above me. Logan's still not answering his cell phone, so I find him on Life 360. He's way up there. I finally get communication with him, and I said, Logan, we don't know what it is. We don't know who it is. Um, just come back down and let's get out of here because here we are out in the middle of the woods where there's bears and there's coyotes. We can actually hear the coyotes running around in the woods where we're at. Um, and let's get back to safety, to where, we have lights and we're not out in the middle of the woods with nothing chasing what we believe to be our dog. Then Logan made a comment that really struck me. Dad, we're too close now. Um, we'll never be this close again. Why, if it is him, and if we don't help him, we may never find him again. And I thought of that when I was thinking about what was going to use for this devotion. And I think for the older Christians who might be listening today, um, sometimes we get tired, sometimes we get fatigued, wore out, um, and sometimes the easiest thing to do is just sit down, sit by the wayside. Um, but I think of the same thing that Logan told me. I think the Lord would be telling a lot of us. Sometimes when we look what's ahead, we see a mountain or a ridge that we can't climb, uh, and we think, well, I'm going to sit down, or maybe I'm going to look for an easier path. Um, but if it's the path that God's put us on, then, you know, we are instructed, as Logan told me, we're too close to give up now. That is the ultimate commitment, that as we continue on this journey, as we do what God's called us to do, take a look back. Take a look back of where you've been, what God's brought you through. Um, and just as Joshua was commanding the children of Israel, look at all the things that God's done for us. I think it was Brother Jody that mentioned, that our life should be different because we've walked with God. And the same should be true in our everyday life. And we see so many people turn away, so many people who maybe, look for an easier path, and get out of the path that God's put them in or God's called them in. And, my words of encouragement, or God's words of encouragement, would be, you're too close to quit now. Keep on keeping on. That's truly what commitment's all about. Don't look at the dangers around. Yes, there's things around us every day, but God says that He'll go with us and He'll lead us all the way. So as long as our eyes are focused on what Christ has called us to do and we're walking in His ways, know this: we can be committed to Him because He's committed to us, and He'll see us through the other side. Hope you enjoyed this. As a side note, we did find the dog. It was our dog, and he was okay. Had we quit, probably would have never seen him again. So just keep on keeping on. God's got great things in store for you, but walk the walk that He's called us to. Love you guys. Hope you have a great day.